Hey, what's up, family? Yo, we got a great one for you today, as usual. This one we're going to be doing on the goddess ERIS, not to be confused with the goddess Eros or god of war Aries. Not Aries and not the god of love Eros. It's ERIS, meaning I-R-I-S. But before I get into that, we got guests here, Ashley, been in many videos, and got other family member here, James. So we're gonna get their perspectives to give you guys a different perspective on what we're talking about. So when we talking about goddess ERIS, I assure you, when I give you the nonsense that she does, the conflict that she does and starts, I guarantee you, any and everyone out there, you're gonna be able to identify with people around you, your family, your friends, foe, no matter what. So let me just get on with the story. I ain't gonna give you a long version. I'm just gonna give you a short version of ERIS. ERIS was a god of, what did you get? Discord. When you look up the word discord, it means strife, you know, to make someone angry and bitter, you know, to start conflict. That's what it means. So the way the story goes with ERIS is one day all the guys got together and it was invited to a wedding, but they didn't invite ERIS. And because they didn't invite ERIS, she got really jealous and said, you know, how dare they don't invite me? I know what I'm gonna do. So she flew up to where all the guys was at and flew over them. And right at the table where Aphrodite, remember Aphrodite supposed to be the god of beauty and love. Aphrodite, Hera is Zeus's wife, supposed to be a beautiful woman, and Athena supposed to be, you know, she's a beautiful woman as well. See how you could easily start conflict with women. So you had Athena, who she's a goddess of many things and fighting and all that type of stuff and as well. But you had Athena, Hera, and Aphrodite, all beautiful women. So what ERIS did to start conflict, she flew over them without them knowing, and she had a golden apple. And she dropped the golden apple right in the middle of all them three women. And then the writing on the apple said, a gift to the most beautiful one. Now just think about that. All three women like, well, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. But it said to the most beautiful one. And just as they all read that, they all was bitter against each other. Because they was like, yo, I'm prettier than you. I'm prettier than you. No, I'm prettier than you. And just like that, they all hated each other. So you understand what her job, and always have been, is to start conflict. Drama, as you said, to instigate amongst other people. So when you think about everyday life, people out here, when we got our family members, friends, neighbors, think about sometimes it could be the simplest of things that could get conflict started. You like, man, we at each other's throats, like the apple. All she did was drop that damn apple and they was at each other's throats. All over a piece of fruit.
So do you remember
exactly.
The Grim Adventures of Billy Manny? Was that her?
Gotta speak up.
Sorry, the Grim Adventures of Billy Manny.
She always had that. That's
was
amazing. That was her. That was
okay.
her. Starting trouble.
She's
See how every on Billy and Matt, we used to watch
episode.
that on Nickelodeon. You're right. I forgot about that. She always had that apple.
Yeah.
And everywhere she went, she was starting trouble.
I didn't know that was her role.
Starting
but now
trouble.
You're breaking up the story.
Yeah.
Like that.
Got anything, Jay, you want to add to that? Because we know we've been through some conflict.
Hey, man, everybody been through some conflict. I mean, you know, like you said, it could be family, it could be friends, but you do find a lot of work conflict.
Yeah.
Conflict at work is very,
You
very
think so?
Absolutely.
I don't think so for me.
Well, I mean, it all depends on what type of work you're doing.
Okay.
See, now, as for me, working in warehouses, you know what I mean, it's always going to be conflict. Why? Because for the simple fact, in that area right there, you know, being in a warehouse, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 hours a day, you know, there's always somebody that's going to outdo somebody, or there's that one that's like, all right, I'm going to be the boss's pet. If this guy did something wrong, I'm running to him.
Going back to the boss to tell them,
you know
you look bad.
And the next thing you know, you're doing what you're doing, and now you feel somebody breathing down. Like, what the hell you watching what I'm doing for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some conflict coming, and then now you going back and forth with the boss, and then guess you, once you get that heated, then it always comes around, it's like, all right, now I got to go talk to this dude that just got me in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, so stuff like that happens. And it happens a lot often in workplace. And a good one, too, is with truck drivers at truck stops. They have all over gas pumps sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and ones that, you know, drive over the road. And they can't get into the rest area to watch. They're going to a regular bathroom and watch. And if they get caught by the attendants get pissed off because you ain't supposed to have your truck parked like that, just going in the bathroom to watch your tail. That's a conflict.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
These things happen a lot. Only time I would say, well, there are many. Let's say when a kid is involved, let's say a husband, man and woman, they have conflict. Right? And now they separate for whatever reason. And now let's say you move on with another woman. The thing I always thought was so ugly is that woman and your new woman is bickering against each other, and the child is in the middle. They got to see all this nonsense. And a lot of times it's like, what is this woman upset for? And now what caused like that golden apple? What was dropped right in the middle to make this one so bitter against that one? And it's like just the mere sight. You know, you ever had somebody, just the mere sight of them, you be like, oh, I can stand this joker.
But you know what? You do find some women out there too, when it comes to something like that. If they bitter like that, it's always that one that person probably left, that the woman that's with the person like, hold up, why he not giving me that affection that he gave to her when I got
with
him?
Hear that a lot.
When I got with him. You know what I'm saying? So
he ain't do that for me.
He ain't doing that
he
for
ain't
me.
do that with my kids.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it happens like that in the world. You know what I mean?
That was like the guy that went viral for buying his kids McDonald's.
Oh, remember I did a video on that one. Yeah.
Oh, when he took it to the house.
I did a video.
Yeah,
Y'all can check that out.
And then have no food for the rest of the kids.
I had a movie that
that was a little crazy.
Do you think he was wrong? Because that's conflict in itself. Like,
yeah, that's kind. I think that was kind of wrong for the simple fact, like you know you going over there, you know those other kids, you know dang on well they gonna want something too. So it's like even if you bought them a 99-cent cheeseburger, just you didn't have to buy them a whole Happy Meal like you bought
That's
yours.
a good one. You're right.
You know what I mean? You didn't have to buy them the whole Happy Meal. You could have just bought them a burger or a 5-piece.
We could
nugget.
talk about this later, but I personally think he was wrong. I'm on the guy's side. Like, we could talk about this later.
It is kind of wrong. It is
but
wrong.
I'm the kid, but the woman, she felt entitled to his money for her kids.
Nah,
like,
and she's
I
not.
don't like
She's not.
that. I don't like entitlement.
The guy said, I didn't tell you to have all them kids.
I don't like
Go get their
entitlement.
fathers.
Yeah, I'm only entitled to that one. That's
That's
it.
right.
And I agree with that. I agree with that.
Michelle should just be in this video.
Did you ever remember
energy
too,
vocal.
that sometimes people, when you date somebody and they got kids, you're supposed to accept their children.
Yeah, everything that comes
You're
with that baggage.
supposed to.
You are supposed to.
Because whatever comes with that baggage, you got to accept that.
You're supposed to take it.
You got to accept
If you
it.
date somebody and they got a kid, you're supposed to date, the kid comes with them.
Yeah.
It can't be left to the
That's part of the
side.
baggage.
Otherwise, that relationship ain't going to work
Yeah.
because they can't get rid of the kids.
Yeah.
That comes with it.
So right
Hey,
here we got
crowd. This is the conflict. Come
This
on.
the golden apple of ERIS dropping in that relationship. As she
Right.
said,
Okay.
she does nothing but starts conflict, instigate problems.
Right.
So we got to be smarter, not to always fall for that golden apple of mischief that she drops right amongst us all the time, and we fall for it too
the time.
often.
And I feel like sometimes conversations can be diffused by a simple, quick agreement, opposed to just stretching the argument and making it way worse than what it should never have been in the first place.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a good one. Now I think I'm vaguely starting to remember the movie. I remember. I'm gonna start with me first. I remember back in the days, when I was out there on the block doing silly stuff. We all been down that road at some point or another. I remember one time they took some cats from the block, the cops. They was the one with the apple, dropping the apple. Figuratively speaking. They grabbed one of the jokers from the neighborhood that they could never catch on some real criminal stuff. And where we lived in Elizabeth at the time, they grabbed this one brother. Let's just say his name was John, right? They grabbed John, threw him in the car. And I remember I was following the cop car because I was like, man, what they gonna do to this guy? I said, man, I thought he was gonna beat him or whatever. So I was following the cop. Next thing you know, the cop ran through light after light after light and was speeding through town, drove all the way to Newark, a rough area in Newark, dropped the kid off in the middle. I lost the cop after he ran all these lights and all that. But when we found him later, he didn't get beat. But it was almost, I'm gonna make a valid point. He dropped the joke off in the middle of the projects in Newark and then got on the speaker from what old boy told us and said, yo, we got one from Elizabeth over here in Newark. He said, F all you jokers in Newark. Y'all can all kiss his expecting him to get his ass.
Yeah, for everybody to come on out and
AKA the golden apple. You start in conflict.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now when we caught up, because I drove like crazy, I couldn't find him because the cop, did all that legal stuff. But later when we found out, met up with him and he was fine, Yeah, that was cool that he wasn't beat up. He said, man, these cops try to do me real dirty, aka the Golden Apple, right? So it made me think of, remember the movie Menace to Society?
Right.
I was literally just thinking about that movie.
The part where they beat Sharif.
Yeah,
it was Sharif and Love.
boy.
They beat him up with the clubs real bad, and they dropped him off in the essays.
And alleyway.
And the way Kane was explaining, he said those cops dropped us off amongst the essays, thinking that the essay was going to beat us up, but instead the essays they helped us out, man, and they helped us to the hospital and everything. I was like, man, that was crazy, cause I've been through that, and when I seen it in the movie Men's Society, I was like, man, that struck a nerve. I know exactly. That was once again, that was ERIS. You came here, those cops put them in that area, just hoping to start conflict amongst others. Remember, like the story. Remember, like the story. ERIS, that's all she do. She come amongst others. See, because she never starts conflict with just you and you alone. It ain't gonna work that way for her. No, she needs somebody else.
She need a third party.
Yeah, it's like you and this person could be best friends, good family, tight amongst each other, but I'm gonna throw something in the middle of y'all to have y'all bickering and angry at each other to the point y'all don't even know until y'all done did so much damage and harm physically, emotionally to each other that y'all like, man, what the heck?
What the hell this was for?
You know, look at how many families out there, you go 20, 30, 40 years, you become an old person, you go, man, I haven't spoke to my brother, my sister, my whoever, man, I'm 70 years old now, and I ain't spoke to them in 50 years. And then when you think about it, you say, what would it might be your grandson, your granddaughter say, well, granddad, why do y'all not speak? And even the old person's like, you know what, I don't even really know.
Right.
It was probably something real stupid. Nah, it was that Golden Apple, aka ERIS. She put something there to start y'all bickering.
And pull you away from each other.
Anything else?
No, that's it. That's all
Well,
I have to say.
how about in closing? How would you, let's give a positive spin on it.
I will basically say there's nothing wrong with debating or going back and forth with your family or relationship or work, because like you guys always told me, like if y'all don't argue at all, then it's fake. The relationship is fake.
Right, I agree on that.
But to constantly argue, that's a problem. But there's nothing wrong with going back and forth. It doesn't always have to be labeled as an argument. It could be labeled as a debate. But
or disagreement.
Disagreement. It don't always have to. But there are gonna be problems between any relationship. But as long as you guys just diffuse it at the end of the day and don't go years without talking to somebody, then you know, that would be good.
And even if you do go years, because sometimes some things are out of our control, or sometimes the disrespect is so out there that some things you can't let go.
Yeah.
So, you know, but you could live your life better if you don't keep dawning on that, because that's gonna make you depressed. You got anything in closing?
Hey man, just welcome me to the to the sunny side on the holiday. Thank y'all for everything and being on the channel now.
Cool. Hey, what I was saying in closing, because you always want to put a spin on the end, rather it's good or positive video, we want to still give you results and closure as far as a positive way to fix whatever problem that may have been. And what I would say, something like this just off the top of my head, is you're going to have conflict with any and everyone, even your doggone dog in the house. He going to mess on the floor or something. Anybody, your family member, whatever. But there is a way you can handle that rather than always in such a negative way. So try to finish stuff on a positive way. Sometimes, like they say, time heals wounds. Sometimes you just might need time.
That's it.
Because sometimes you try to jump in and apologize so quick, that don't work. Let time heal wounds sometimes, and then try to fix it. On that note, subscribe, share, like, and comment. Peace. I hope y'all love the story about ERIS, because that's where a lot of the conflict comes from. Peace.